here? Do you think that potential is there, or are we going to actually see it go maybe into that third map and maybe a full decider?
I think for me, look, I did predict Carahouse to find the victory. I don't know, I think Pacific Macta are actually looking a lot better today than I have given them credit for in the past, so I almost want to say that they get the 2-0 here, but I just think Carahouse as well have a little bit more to give, and I think if they do bring that to the table, then they're a good enough team to make this reverse sweep happen. I still personally believe Carahouse is the better team, so I guess I have to, with that in mind, continue to predict that we go toward map 3, but yeah, look, Pacific Macta are definitely doing better, and they're going a long way in, what's the word, convincing me again that they are going to be here to sort of take the challenge, because I've kind of written them off a little bit after what I saw in Vietnam, but this is a much better looking start.
Yeah, I believe in Pacific Macta today. You know, after what I've seen, I think they've got it in the tank for today, unless Carahouse can really pull it back and show us some better play here in the second map. Pacific Macta just looked like the better team on the day, the better prepared team, so let's see if they can pull it together.
It's going to be up to them to try and close this one out without risking that map 3, but let's hop into it. Blackwidow to kick us off here as our second map in this series. It is going to be Pacific Macta on the attacking side first here, and they did struggle a bit in that first map on the BL side as well, so maybe they've got something better for us, and it's already looking a little bit better after all. Rambo taken down by Revenge to kick off the round.
This is one of the big problems for Carahouse on the last map, was Revenge got so many opening kills with that Orm, and once again, it's just popped up straight away as we've jumped into Blackwidow. 4v5 for Carahouse in the initial round. And if Revenge can continue to have that kind of impact, then it's going to put Pacific Macta in such a solid position in so many of these rounds. Now, JRK is trying to hold on his own. He's getting a bit of assistance there from Shady, but the reality is he's the last man standing on this B bomb site. And that was a convincing entry into B. Great start to the series, great start to the map. And in fact, well, I guess if you're going to consider the series as well, it's looking pretty good for Pacific Macta with that kickoff.
Yeah, honestly, a lot stronger on that execution than I was expecting. I thought surely there would be a solid response and rotation set up from Carahouse. They even had the numbers nearby to try and shut it down, but shot for shot, Pacific just getting the best of them in this opening round as they take the 1-0 lead pretty convincingly. And I may have doubted them on their sub-base BL, but so far Blackwidow looking a little bit stronger.
Yeah, I mean, you get that first pick off. It kind of sets the tone once again. You just won the last map. You come in, you get the pick off on an aggressive member from Carahouse once again. And then it's just a pretty straightforward, nice strategy push onto B. And it's something that we see many teams do. They get the job done. Carahouse not really able to withstand the pressure down a member. And yeah, if they can get it going on Blacklist side and continue with the momentum from the last map, you got to like their chances. As Rambo once again just hopping around. And here comes Dola, and he's going to get shot down immediately. Lucas does pick up one, as will Rambo. But yeah, Carahouse trying to clean out this water side, as MBA is the only one left. He is going to pick up one on his way out, but now it's all up to ZYK.
I mean, it's good that he at least gets one there, because it does make this one doable. You've got a couple of isolated players on the GR side at the moment. Rambo's going to try to make his way into mid and perhaps link back up with Shady to play the 2-on-1. Which is not a bad choice, but it is going to allow ZYK into the A site to get that plant down, and he's certainly got his time available to him to sort of clear this side out, and in fact, maybe even get up to a little bit more funny business and clear mid out as well. I like this intelligent usage of the time from ZYK. Give yourself every opportunity to get as much information as possible, and potentially even find a 1v1. But I think he's just got the timing wrong there, unfortunately, so solid attempt, but it's not quite going to go the way of Pacific Macta there for the second round.
Yeah, it all came down to, though, this kind of scrappy play that we saw at the beginning over towards the B bridge. I wasn't quite sure what Pacific was trying to do there. They kind of stayed a little bit too long for comfort, got shut down by an aggressive play from Carahouse, and this is where they need to be a little bit more prepared on their Blacklist side. It felt like in that first map, even though Carahouse was playing a little bit predictably, they still couldn't handle that aggression. Even when Dola was going into B control room 4 rounds in a row, Dola was still getting kills there, and this is where I want to see Pacific get better at addressing those aggressive plays and shutting them down.
Yeah, for now, just mainly playing around this water area and just trying to get the pick on the guy in the A short. But a little bit of a wall shot there, perhaps. Rambo did get hit. Lucas also taking a little bit of damage. Not sure from where. Maybe peeked out just a little bit early because Pacific Macta are just very much playing on their hind heels, waiting for Carahouse's aggression, which I don't think is a bad idea, just depending on, just based on what we've seen so far from them, which has been over-aggression and, you know, one guy pushing out and getting caught out. But it does look like Carahouse has backed off for now. Also do have control of the A-long area. Pacific Macta definitely taking their time, waiting for somebody to get antsy on their opponent's team.
Yeah, back to that tried and true method from Pacific Macta that we saw on sub-base Blacklist side is to just play quite slowly, a little bit more of a defaulty setup, and wait for any mistakes from Carahouse, which, look, in this round they're not going to be making any, pushing their way forward at all. You do have ZYK now starting to take some of that onus for Pacific Macta and work his way forward on the bridge. Lucas, I feel, has been spotted out there as well, and he's just going to be spammed down. There is a trade in from Dola, and Shady's also going to be able to strike. The taps are in here. These players need to survive on long because that's where the C4 is. MVA, a bit of a whiff, but cleans it up in the end. And with 25 seconds, where are they going to end up? They need to push their way in. Maybe it's towards A. I guess there's no time left but to go in that direction. It's a crucial kill from MVA, but JRK could drop the bomb carrier, and that would be the difference maker. He's now been spotted out. Low HP for JRK to try to hold on to the site, and he can't do it. Revenge will pick it up, and Pacific Macta go to 2.
Yeah, another tough round there from Carahouse, where it looks like they've got all of the advantages they need, but then you've just got Revenge right there, looking good on the cleanup, gets it done, and keeps Pacific out in front here. And now this time around, they're going to be putting a lot of attention towards that B bomb site. You can tell Revenge really wants to take this fight on to Rambo. He's gone for it every single round so far at the beginning. This time, Rambo takes him down right away, gets the 5-on-4, and that's exactly what they needed from Carahouse.
Yeah, definitely a good look. That time around from Rambo has been struggling a little bit in that 1v1 sniper battle, but this time gets the better of Revenge, who has been a pretty key member of this Pacific Macta team so far. So definitely liking Carahouse's chances this time around in this round. But let's see where it does go from here, as once again Pacific Macta just waiting around the water area of the map, seeing if anyone else wants to give one of their members a chance to get picked off.
Not going to be the case just yet. Very relaxed approach from both teams. No one's moving at all. A couple of little jiggle peaks here and there, but that's about it.
Yeah, Carahouse, though, they've got so much more map control to work with. They've got 2 players pushed up here all the way up A long. So if there is a push coming towards this A bomb site, it should be shut down pretty quickly. I am surprised, though, with all of the information they have on this A bomb site, that they only have 2 players still on B. They could easily rotate one of these 2 A-long players off to a safer position to help those B players, knowing that it's not super likely they're going to see this A execute coming anytime soon.
Yeah, definitely a bit of a stack. They do throw a flash into the supply room, and just waiting on a push that could potentially come into B.
Just not quite patient enough. And look, for ZYK, it's a risky business to actually be holding here in the spawn because he's got the C4. If he goes down, that's the round over. But again, if he would have waited a little bit longer, he might have got a free kill there. Either way, they're going to try to hit those entries, and it's a good one from MVA. They've still got to dig JRK out, but they do have time to do that. Pre-fire round the corner won't quite work out. Lucas and Rambo are there to assist. Rotation came through just in time for Carahouse, and they will equalize once again. Seems we're in for another very close map.
Yeah, it seems very likely here. A lot of that round, though, came down to ZYK being late with the bomb, getting shot at, and you could hear him calling out there, just trying to force that B play, and they weren't fully prepared to have a solid execution there, and then they just couldn't clear out Lucas as well, who sat in that corner a little bit too long. This time, though, ZYK, he knows Rambo's going to try for that peek onto Revenge again. They try to go for that shutdown play, but it's actually Justin to find the first through the double doors onto Dola.
Yeah, it's a really nice pickoff. I like how they're reading the pressure and they're staying passive, and they just know that Carahouse can't really, they can't stop themselves from going for these little peaks, and they're taking new angles, right? They're not peeking with the revenge. They're getting ZYK to go onto the road, actually, and get him while he peeks, and then same there in the doors, just to have the off angle to catch Dola, who's peeking through. And it's giving them a lot of big advantages early on in this round specifically. So Pacific Macta trying to wrest back control and get back into the lead, although they are still in the same spot. Still, again, some pretty predictable play like we saw on sub-base from the Blacklist side, but it's kind of working out better this time on Blackwidow. Maybe they've still got a good read on this map.
Yeah, you're right. That long smoke is not fooling anyone. You've already got Lucas pushing well past it, but the numbers are just so favorable for Pacific Macta on this B side of the map that it's hard to imagine they won't at least get into the site in an even number scenario. Now, that was the C4 dropped on the cross by Shady, which will cause a bit of a ruckus, and Rambo unable to land his shot with the Orm. Will have to allow the plant to go down. Tough retake now to be asked of Carahouse, and especially so after that shot from Revenge. Jeez, he's looking good with the Orm in this series.
Now they've got it in the 2-on-3. Rambo has to try and clear this flank out, but it's not going to happen. He's spotted barrel out. Lucas now left alone in the box room, but he's only got 5 HP to work with, and this bomb is ticking quickly away from him. MVA going to be caught, but doesn't matter. Justin's there to secure the round, and Pacific still remain out in front here. A much better showing on this Blacklist side so far, but a lot of it's coming down to this time around. It's not Shady getting the first round picks. It's either Revenge or ZYK.
Yeah, it was just a really good start to the round, and then good execution on the pushes onto B. It's predictable, but it's working, so why mix it up? And look at this. They're going for something new, a bit of a rush onto A long and pressure into A short. Let's see if Carahouse can respond to this amount of pressure. They're trying to scramble into position, and they're just getting picked off as they're just being pushed to the back of the site. This is totally going the way of Pacific Macta as they take over the A site. It is only Lucas who is in the back road here up against 4.
At this point, it doesn't seem too likely for him. Stuck in the A window. You can see they're already pre-calling that talk pause. They know what's coming here. Lucas goes down. It's a 4-2 lead for Pacific on the BL side, and now they've got to regroup and try and find their way to not let this one essentially become a quick 2-0 now.
It's not looking great. What do you even talk about at this point as Carahouse?
They just looked, I don't know, like caught out. That change up in tempo is really nice. It's what we've been asking for a long time, and the second they do it, Carahouse are like, oh crap, these guys are capable of doing this? We never would have expected this. So I think it's a really good timeout timing from the side of Carahouse, because things are kind of spiraling out of control. You're not winning when you know what they're going to do. And you're getting totally caught out when you don't know what they're going to do. So it just feels like Pacific Macta are in total control of this map right now.
Yeah, Pacific Macta just looking better and better and better as we go through this series, and that is a hugely positive sign for their chances in the rest of the group. It's a tough group to beat. Obviously, Baisha in there, and 3BL, we didn't really get to see the best of 3BL last night. I think that's fair enough when you're playing against Baisha, but I'm sure that'll be another tough game.
Yeah, it's a good shout, because if you lose this match, you're probably 3rd or 4th place, right? Like,
yep.
So it's an extremely important match, because I'm not sure that either of these teams would expect to beat Baisha. Obviously, you're going to give it your all, and maybe you get that upset win, but it's a lot on your shoulders if you lose this first one.
Yep. A lot of coming back to do. Benefit, at least, I guess, for Carahouse is they didn't lose too hard on map 1, so the differential won't punish them that much, but yeah, I mean, map 2's still starting to get a bit of a problem, and that is a fast start from MVA. Oh, man. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a replay. It's baited me so hard.
It was a fast start.
I was like, whoa,
it really was.
They've just come out the gates out that tack pause and just booked Carahouse. Look, it wouldn't be the worst strategy, I think, actually, running out of a timeout to play that quickly, but in the end, yeah, look, 4-2 lead at the moment for Pacific Macta is still a little bit of a worrisome sign for Carahouse. And it's so much long control established for Pacific Macta in this round initially as well. Is a real problem. I believe it is Revenge that is sitting at the bottom of A long. Yeah, it is. So he's able to see, well, nothing, which is information in itself.
Yeah, Carahouse playing a little bit more reserved. Only one player on the A-bomb site, but Pacific, they've pretty much ran this start of round setup consistently throughout the half. They've got a lot of attention towards the B-bomb site, trying to bait out a pick. There is an extra player on it for Carahouse this time around, so maybe that gives them a little bit better odds on the hold. They've got Lucas and Rambo with arms in hand this time around as well to maybe change things up and keep Pacific guessing here, but their entries on this B-bomb site have been so on point today, especially when it comes to clearing out that corner box. I'm surprised they're actually still playing that position, considering it's been mostly unsuccessful for Carahouse.
Yeah, I think Carahouse definitely, they take the time out and they're trying to mix stuff up. Not sure if it's going to work out for them, conceding more of the map early on just to try to handle some of the pushes that have been coming through from Pacific Macta. And it's kind of rough when you feel like you're losing every firefight because either you're out of position or you know, the enemy team is just playing better on the entry. Especially Pacific Macta, who you know are going to have a really strong GR side. As here they come, they're going to push in through the supply. They are trying to get onto B once again, but this time Carahouse in a better position, but still the entry is just so clean.
Wow.
All of them get wiped up on the B site, and only Rambo is left there to just collect the pieces, of which there aren't much. There's only one 6 HP piece that is himself, and Revenge is just flanking him. That's going to do it. Headshot as 5-2, even after the timeout from Carahouse.
Yeah, you can just see that momentum is flowing like crazy for Pacific Macta at this point. And there is, I feel like, almost nothing to be done for Carahouse. Once this level has been achieved for Pacific Macta, it's very hard to call this one back. Carahouse is going to have to win, you know, the last couple of rounds of this half and probably the first couple of rounds of the second half to break this momentum. They're going to try to go fast. Shady's going to get that opening kill. Big fight for MVA. Can't land a spray down onto the second player. So at the very worst case, that aggression has worked out from Carahouse, and they have the numbers advantage at the start of round number 8. But they've given up so much map control. I like this from Revenge. Look at how far he's pushed into the A site. And if he can pick Lucas, then the door is wide open. And even then, he gets Shady, but surely he's got to be prepared for someone on the bridge position. I think he has spotted Lucas out now.
Aldrin, though, goes down on the wraparound. Still, Revenge is alive on this bomb site. They haven't really addressed his positioning. They're kind of just playing off of it now and waiting to see if it's going to be a full commit from the bomb as well. ZYK decides to stick the plant here. Dola already in position on the window. They're just waiting for that final wraparound to come through from Rambo, but Rambo and Dola are both pretty low on HP for this retake. Lucas has to pop off here from the catwalk. Revenge already takes down Dola with the nade. Rambo spotted underneath. It's only a 2v1 for Lucas, and he's taken down to 30 HP. It's not going to work out again. Carahouse, they've got the numbers, but they just can't find a way to break through. Pacific now, all they've got to do is just play this clock, and Lucas, he's got nowhere to turn to, and that'll be the round for Pacific.
Yeah, and just like that, I mean, as you called it out, it's you see the pressure coming out from Carahouse, and you immediately respond. Revenge has that kind of veterancy to say, okay, we know that probably nobody's going to be here. He's already very far pushed up, and that positioning just allows them to peel apart the A site, even down a member, and get that early pick and even things up. So just like that, and here we go once again. This time Revenge, he's just sitting out there on long, and he's going to pick up a free kill onto Dola, who's kind of just been out by himself doing his own thing, and this time he's going to get caught out.
Just nothing going right for Carahouse on this map at all. Pacific Macta, they came in with a game plan. We were not sure whether it was going to be Blackwidow or would it be Compound that they would head towards as their pick, and well, I think they're very much proving exactly why it needed to be Blackwidow. It was a really close affair between these two teams the last time they played it, but this is looking like it's bound to be a blowout. Aggressive setup from Carahouse with 3 players over toward the B side, pushed into the connector, but Pacific Macta know that they don't really need to do a whole lot here. They're a very disciplined team on the Blacklist side.
Yeah, at this point, it's going to be a pretty vital round for Carahouse to try and grab to make this a 6-3 half. You can see Pacific playing pretty much the same strategy they've carried out through the entire half here. 3 towards B. They've got 1 posted up on A long, another just passively holding on to that mid-spawn position. And it's really going to come down to what they have to throw back at them on this B bomb side. It is a 3-player stack in the box room, which I don't think they're going to be fully ready for, but this is what Pacific likes to do. They're just baiting these players out. They don't even have to peek into it because they peek them. In Pacific, they just get gifted all of these kills because Carahouse doesn't have the patience to hold that for the whole round, and there you have it. It's a 7-2 half, a complete slaughter here on the Blacklist side coming out from Pacific, and now it's up to Carahouse to show us if they've got anything left here.
Yeah, that's kind of the most, that is like the moment that broke the back of Carahouse right there. Like they decide, okay, we're going to push out and we're going to try to isolate one guy and take a very aggressive stance. We're down a member, and it's like a web, but like a concave perfectly. They're just waiting for them to move out of that one doorway, and it's just a slaughter fest and makes it look so easy. Pacific Macta getting 7 rounds on Blacklist. Got to be feeling pretty good.
Yep. Long control is going to be established for Carahouse, for Pacific Macta, I should say, straight out the gates. And they just set Revenge up on that line, rotate the rest of the players off to have a look into mid. Already a decent start to this first GR round for Pacific Macta.
Carahouse just trying to play the clock here as well on their end, hoping that, you know, hey, maybe they'll get gifted some picks as well, but Pacific, they're a little bit more patient on their defensive side, so I'm not expecting them to just go in guns blazing for a mid-swing here. Rambo, he knows he has to try and make something happen. He's working his way up the catwalk here, trying to spot potential pick in that mid position, but nobody is giving them any luxuries here on the side of Pacific. They know they have a huge lead, and they're going to throw all of that pressure onto Carahouse to make the first move.
Let's see if Rambo can find anything. I mean, at this moment, he's either going to run into Justin or he's going to take over the site. Justin is taking a look up at the catwalk, and we'll be ready for it when it happens, but let's see if Rambo does push out that far by himself. He's even going to use a smoke, so just trying to create some noise for the team that looks to be pushing into B. Now, there is MVA right all the way in the back left corner of the B site, just ready for a push if it does come through. Lucas moving through the doors, although Aldrin is going to see it. ZYK, they've got the crossfire, and they see the push coming in onto the B site, as they should be ready for this. MVA just waiting for the team to make their way in first.
No way.
And he's going to get the drop on the Shady. Perfectly done on the timing, as now he's got some teammates to handle with him this B site, and Dola's just left all alone, just isolated. As the timing from MVA, he's been having a bomb map so far.
I have very rarely seen such a one-sided map. Even when the Chinese teams are playing, I mean, look at Baisha yesterday against 3BL. You're probably talking about that kind of a result at this point. Pacific Macta, it seems like they can do no wrong. And honestly, this is the Pacific Macta that we had hoped to see, that we feel like we've been maybe missing out on for the last few years at the CFS Grand Finals events. But a super solid start. And I wonder what that means for their story at this event. How many chapters there are going to be written. You know, do they go all the way deep in the playoffs?
It's definitely a good start here, and knowing they've got 3BL in their group as well, another one I would assume they can probably tackle them, but I think it would really just be up to now if they can pull this off, what's going to be in store when they take on their first Chinese opponent. But it's not over just yet. Carahouse, maybe they've got something left for us here. It's going to be an extreme comeback needed to make that happen, but we've seen crazier things before. Pacific, though, this is what they do best. The GR side, they're not afraid to just play patient, and they don't really play very risky on this side of the map, which for the Vietnamese teams, not really something they're used to being up against.
Yeah, the timing has been working out much better for Pacific Macta. There's only 2 rounds left for them to just take this one 10-2. And the way this is going, it might just happen in that manner. We do have a slow push through the boxes. Shady trying to line this one up first, but immediately MVA just going to take him out as MVA does go down, but he has support right from the window, and not able to get that first entry kill is going to slow down this push so much from the side of Carahouse.
Good kill on the rotate, though, from Rambo. Keeps the options open for Carahouse. They could actually rotate off and go back to A, which is what Pacific Macta will be wondering about, though. Lucas is still hanging around here with the C4. If he drops, though, that's the game up. I mean, he's just taking a 1v1 fight. In fact, it ended up really being a 2v1 fight. He was sure to be traded, and now it's put Rambo in such an awkward spot that he now has to try to clutch this one out. Good connection with the Orm, but Revenge now knows his position, and of course Rambo, low on HP, is going to have to make no mistake with the Orm to win the round from here.
It's a good call here from Revenge, though. Doesn't actually stay on that B bridge. He's going for the full wraparound, knowing he's not going to have enough time to go back to that A bomb site. He can just kind of stall and wait for the plant here. So Revenge, this is an incredible read, and it should net him the round, because Rambo, he's going to have to go all the way back to A if he wants to win this one. Revenge, he's going to spot him just in time, gets it done, and that's now match point on the table, 9-2 here in map number 2.
Yeah, there's just some small moments. Like, that was the closest Carahouse got in many, many rounds as well. And it started off, you know, a nice little pick. It did get traded back, but they were pretty close. Like, they got onto the B site, but then just waiting a little bit too long, getting isolated 2v1, and things kind of fell apart from there, with Rambo very low on health and not really able to pull off the miracle. As now Grenade is just getting so much value. They know they are here on a long, nice little crossfire. But that's first kill going the way of Carahouse, and the push is coming in. And perhaps they're able to get something going here. They are up a man now.
I'm not sure I'd want to be challenging Revenge on an angle like this, though. He is a very dangerous player. MVA with the fast flank. You need to be doing things like this when you're down on numbers to try to equalize, and he has been able to catch Rambo off guard. He's also still kind of got the info that Pacific Macta have Carahouse stuck on long, which means Revenge can just watch the same angle and try to pick them as they make their way up. Dola trying to hold on. Revenge has the pistol in hand here, and he is hitting everything at the moment. Aldrin with the assist. It's MVA up against Dola, and Dola in a must-win round to try to save the game for his side. It seems like it's going the other way, and Pacific Macta will take the series 10-2.